Hey there, it's Linda West with Living Live, and I am so blessed today to be able to interview Jody Harris. But before we get into that, I want to share with you guys that I am speaking at an event called Attend MSB, and it's called MSB, which is Massive Success Breakthrough. And I'm excited to speak there because it's my first time speaking on a big stage. Like, I've spoken many times, but never on a big stage. So this is my first time. I'm breaking through that nether barrier that I've had in my life. So go to attendmsb.com if you're interested in joining us. It's February 9th through 11th of 2018 here in San Diego. Again, it's attendmsb.com. I look forward to seeing you there. And today I'm going to interview Jody Harris. We're going to talk about the entrepreneurial journey, and the journey to never giving up is one of the themes of today's show. So if this is something that you feel like somebody else could benefit from, please go ahead and share it. I really, really appreciate that. And with that said, I'm going to introduce to you Jody Harris. Now, Jody is the CEO of Jody Harris, Inc. It's an award-winning, and she's an award-winning inventor of solution-based products, Zipped Me and Yuck Be Gone. She's a distributor and marketer of natural-based products that are essential to anyone who wants better health and gorgeous hair. I want gorgeous hair. Yeah, she also refers to herself as the queen of never giving up. Woo, woo. Yeah, Judy's passion is to inspire others to never give up, and it's made her a highly sought-after keynote speaker where she shares her journey of being a teenage mother, a survivor of domestic violence, to building her business empire. Welcome, Judy. I'm so excited to have you here. And I met you at Secret Knock. You had your product, Yuck Be Gone, and I like the smell of it. It was really good. And thanks so much for being here today and sharing with us your journey. So what I'd like to know, hold on a second here. What I'd like to know is for you to share your story and how you got started.
Well, thank you, Linda, so much. I'm so excited to be on the show with you. I'm getting some feedback. Can you hear that?
I can hear you. I don't hear any feedback.
Okay, great. I'll continue. How I got started on my entrepreneur journey is I'm a problem solver. And whether, it's been my 9 to 5 or if it's been I saw something that needed to be solved, I would just go and solve it. So I was actually stuck in a hotel in DC. I was late for a meeting and I couldn't zip up my dress. And, I stepped out in the hall after calling the concierge, and the concierge was like, no, we don't have anybody who can help you. And finally, this older gentleman came to my rescue, and he zipped up my dress. And he said, if somebody would invent something to zip up these dresses, he said they'd be millionaires. I really did. Yeah, I did not get that aha moment at that time. It was later that evening when I was trying to get my dress off that I say, I think he's onto something. So that just really started my journey into being an entrepreneur. I've always been that person that's always solved the problem. This was the first time that I ever invented a product to solve a problem. And it just really escalated from there. I began sharing my story. I've written some books. And then that just morphed into more opportunities. You were talking about you speaking at the MSB conference. It allowed me a platform to actually get out there and share my passion, which is helping people start a business, but then also inspiring them. There's so many people that want to take that leap to be an entrepreneur, but there's this little thing back here called fear. And they need to release that so that they can move forward. And I've really enjoyed being up on stage and visiting with people. And I always tell people who hire me to come and speak on their stage, they ask me, what's my style? And well, my style is I'm Southern, I'm laid back, and I like to have a lot of fun. And if that fits your criteria, then I'm your person. But if you want somebody that's going to just get up there and read off cue cards, then I'm not your person.
I love that because you just really simplified it, instead of making it all this complicated stuff. Mm-hmm. And that's really awesome. But hey, do you want me to show your, not a commercial, but it was a news channel that did your Zip Me? Do you want me to show that real quick?
Yes.
Okay, so here's one caveat. I see my friend Patty is on there. Hi, Patty. And I see that there are a couple more people on there. I don't know who they are, but Patty has shown up here. And so, Patty, what I'd like you to do is let me know if you can hear, because if you can't hear, I'm going to have to stop it. So give me just a second here. I'm going to do something fun here. So I'm trying some new things out. And, new things are always a lot of fun, but you never know what's going to happen. So that's where we are right now. We're just going to try it out and see what happens. And I don't have the option. I guess we're not going to do it because I don't see my option to do it. Yeah, I do. Hold on.
Yay!
This is going to be fun. Let's see. You know what? I don't know what I'm doing. I can't do it. Darn. So
well, that's okay. Maybe you can put it in the comments for later.
Okay, good. That's what I'll do. We'll put it in the comments. And so her website is Jody Harris Inc. Oh, here it is. Okay. I'm seeing some things now that I didn't see before. It's always fun, you're like trying to figure things out, But so it's jodyharrisinc.com. And there's a commercial on there that shows how the Zip Me works. And it's really cool. I was looking that's so ingenious, and it's pretty too. It's very pretty.
Oh, well, thank you.
Does it come in different styles and stuff, or is it just the pearls?
It's just the pearls. I'm a very simple person, so when I first designed it, it wasn't aesthetic. However, I found out very quickly that people just didn't want something that worked. They wanted it to be aesthetically nice. And so that's why I developed the pearls. Also the heart, it's all about our hearts and giving back. And then I had a good friend who had breast cancer. And so I had a special edition for breast cancer awareness.
Oh, that's awesome. I love it. Okay, Jody, guess what? I think I figured it out. Okay, so let's try it. Give me just a second here. I'm going to try it out. We're going to see what happens. Okay, so I think I'm sharing my screen right now, and I'm going to play it. And I can't hear anything. Can you guys hear anything?
Nope.
Ah, darn. It was worth a shot.
Yeah, I love it. I love to experiment.
I'll have to try it again, when we're not actually doing a real interview. That's what we'll do next time. Okay, yes. Cool. I love the story of how, that's how a lot of inventions are made, right? I know some other inventors that we know, some of our mutual friends that, it's oh, there was a need. I think I'll just figure it out and how I can make it happen. And that's what happens. So let me ask you a question though. This gentleman said that thing, it didn't dawn on you at that moment. And then later you created this product and then you went to go get it patented. Is that correct?
Well, now on patents, anything that you take off the shelf and you make something out of it, it cannot be patented. Now you can trademark the name, but if it's anything that's off the shelf that's already been made, you could do a utility patent. However, you have issues then because people will copy your design. You could do a design patent as well. I always encourage people, unless it's a piece of machinery, you really don't need to get a patent. Because there's so much information that's out there, and it is going to be knocked off. That's like me on my new product, Yet Be Gone. I have been asked over and over, I've been contacted by people overseas that would like to have my secret sauce. And once I give that away, then I don't have any value to my Yet Be Gone anymore. So what I have done with Yet Be Gone is I've trademarked the name.
Okay. And can you tell our viewers exactly what Yet Be Gone is?
It is a kid-friendly, non-toxic sanitizing spray, which is a multi-use. You can put it on your hands and it'll sanitize your hands. There's no toxic ingredients that's going to get into your bloodstream by using this. The reason I invented this, though, is because I was spending a lot of times in airports, at events, And I got tired of dirty toilet seats. And like our good friend Greg Reed said, no more butt herpes. When he said that, I just died laughing. But how true, because nobody likes a dirty toilet seat, especially a mother taking her young kids into the bathroom. And we all know how kids are. Kids get into a place and they want to touch everything. Well, if you spritz down the toilet seat, swipe off the excess, you have actually sanitized that space. And, that's keeping us healthy. And I'm really on this journey of being healthy, taking care of myself. And so Yet Be Gone really just provided another stepping stone for my journey.
So do you see yourself making a lot more products in the near future, or what's your thing? If I ask that.
Okay. My thing is enjoying every minute of my life.
Yes.
Now, I'm not going to tell you I'm completely 100% stress-free, because that's not my makeup. I overthink things. I have doubts. I mean, I'm human. But my priority is living life, loving my family, and enjoying everything that I do. Now, I truly love solving problems, whether it is a financial problem, because that's my background. If I'm looking for funding to go into a project, if I'm with a community and they're trying to figure out how to get businesses to come in, if I'm looking at the tax incentives, if I'm looking that there is a problem out there that we need to solve, I mean, I'm all over it. If there comes another time in my life where I say, okay, I need to solve this problem, I will. But there are a lot of hurdles that you have to go through when you take a product to market. And, we see a lot of these super stories that are out there of people who have invented a product and taken it to market. They've either been on Shark Tank, they've got investors or whatever. The person who actually did the inventing only gets a very small amount if they go through a distributor, if they have investors, because what you're doing is you're giving a portion of your business away. If you're going through a distributor, you're getting a very small royalty. So, you start to weigh, is this something I want to do? Do I put all my blood, sweat, and tears, that's goodwill. And a lot of people say, that's worth something, but on paper, it's worth zero. So when you are completing your financials, I mean, you're just going to have debt that you put down there. And
so what do you do with that? Like, because I know we were talking about like the hurdles and stuff. So what do you do to overcome them?
Well, the one thing that I do is I always go back to my passion. My passion with Zip Me was I had to zip my dress because I was traveling alone. So my passion was doing that. It was also giving women an opportunity that were staying at home, single moms, women that were finding themselves in a situation they needed to get out of to make extra money. That was my passion. I was having them make the Zip Me's. With the Yet Be Gone, I was solving a sanitation problem. So going forward, it's still my purpose. It's still part of my journey that I have these products, and I'm still working to get them to the next level. But I also realize that I'm very good at two things. I'm very good at solving problems, and it doesn't always have to be product-based. And I'm very good at matchmaking people. And so one thing that I've really been promoting is B2B matchmaking. And what does that mean? What
does that mean?
That means bringing businesses together that can collaborate and form partnerships to get a project done. That's second nature to me. I understand how that all fits together. And I really don't think about it too much as solving a problem, but it really is, because sometimes somebody's like, hey, I want to build this development. I want to finance this manufacturing facility, whatever the need may be, but I don't know how to get from A to Z. Well, I can step in and I can lay that out for them. Again, that's what I do in my products. You know, how do you formulate a product? You know, I'm not a scientist. But I knew enough that I had resources that I could pull from. The internet was the number one thing that was invented, because that validates some of our questions that we have. And then I had to take my product to a third-party laboratory and have them verify, yes, this will actually do what you say it's going to do. So, you know, it's definitely a journey. It's following your passion. But you really have to look at yourself and decide, what do you want out of this? And, you know, sometimes success is not 3 or 4 commas with zeros.
Right.
Sometimes success is waking up and pushing your idea further that day. Or further that week, or further that month. And I think that really needs to be the conversation, because we all want to be financially set, and so that we can meet our needs. But then again, we also need to see how far we've been in the journey, and then where are we going from there. I always tell people about diversification. I think diversification is part of a hurdle. You know, sometimes we get so narrow-minded. Okay, I'm on this one product, I have to stay there. I was really good, because that's my mentality, to branch out and to diversify, because I knew I needed multiple streams of income coming in.
That's good. So when do you, does a person decide, let's say you're inventing something, right? When does a person decide that, you know what, maybe this isn't going to, maybe I'm not going to be able to make this item or, you know, product or whatever? Is there a time for that? Because I know your book is, you know, the journey to never giving up. So would you just say, just keep going, keep going, keep going? Or does there come a point where it's like, you know what, maybe I got to stop this?
You know, that is a great question. And what I always tell people that I consult with is, look at 2 things. Is that financially feasible for you to continue?
Okay.
I had a gentleman that I met with that was building a device to help you with exercising. He had spent all his money. He needed it to work, and he needed to sell all his inventory quickly.
Oh.
And he was going to have to take another job if that did not happen, or if he did not get an investor. So at that point, he had to say, I'm going to continue, but not at the pace that I was, because now I've got to go out and get some other financial backing, a job, to help me meet my needs. So it's not giving up. It's making sure that you're taking care of your priorities. And so if you are hard set and determined, hey, I've got to see this to the end, and if that means going broke, sleeping under a bridge, losing everything, if that is what your soul and your passion is, okay. Some people say, I kind of like the roof over my head. I like a bed to sleep in. I like heat when it's cold.
Yeah.
They're going to veer off a little bit, get the capital that they need, and then come back and revisit it and still work it. You know, this morning I was up at 5 o'clock. I'll go to bed maybe 10 o'clock my time. Just about the full amount of my day, except the 30, 40 minutes that I was out walking, I'm working at one of my businesses. I'm reaching out. I'm building relationships. I'm working on my products. I have phone calls that I'm making. It's all about furthering your journey. So when you're talking about never giving up, you know, never giving up is following your passion, and it's okay if you veer off.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, because, well, as we grow too, like our passion might change a little bit because we've learned more, we've grown more. And so that's what's happened to me this last 3 years, is a lot of changes, because I'm learning who I am. and learning what my passion is and learning what that means. What does that mean out there in the world? So there's all these different variables that are happening that we don't know what the future is. We don't know what we don't know, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this is awesome though. And I know one of the things we had talked a little bit about was disagreeing. And you said, tell me something that's true that almost nobody agrees with you on.
Oh my gosh, that's right. I did ask that question. I had forgotten. And I drew a blank. Isn't that funny? But that's okay. That's what live TV or live video means. So what do I agree with that other people would disagree? And that how I worded it?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I cannot believe this. I went totally blank again.
Well, that's okay. Let's do this.
Well, let's go on to the next question. How's that? Because I had a good response. I just can't remember what it was.
Let's talk about your book.
Senior moment.
Yay, we all have them. Even before I was a senior. Wait, I'm not a senior yet. I still have them. But pre-senioritis, right?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh well. It'll come to me, I promise, before we're over.
Okay, when we're done, you'll that's what it was.
Yes, that's what it was.
So let's talk about your book, The Journey to Never Giving Up. So first of all, you're self-proclaimed, you never give up, right? So what is the thing that made you say, you know what, I just do never give up, and this is my thing, and I'm on this journey, and so I want to share it with people.
That really started when I was that teenage mom, 16 years old, and I made the decision to have my beautiful daughter, to accept my responsibilities, and to marry the father who I went on to have 2 additional children with, and live in an abusive relationship. And it wasn't until 6 years later, almost 7 years, did I realize that it was the safety of myself and possibly my kids, that if we did not get out, I would die. And so at that point, not only had I made a promise to my children that they would never live in that environment again, but I was going to be out on my own with 3 little kids, and how was I going to make that work as a young mother? There's pay differences. No matter what job you do, there's just pay differences. And here I'm trying to feed 3 kids, have daycare, and make a living, and still have a life. And that life was all the way around my children. So I had made that determination at an early age to never give up. And it was a promise I actually made to my kids. And every time I even say those words, I'm very humbled and almost emotional, because it's just very dear to my heart. And so anytime I take on a project, anytime I make a commitment to even go and speak to women who are struggling, in their entrepreneur life, in a marriage, with children, whatever the situation may be, we've all been there. I want them to know that you don't have to give up on this. It's not going to be fun. It's going to be hard. You're going to cry. You're going to kick. You're going to scream. But the more we talk about it, the more we have resources like today. Today was just one of those days that at 3:00 my time, I was like, I'm done. I am done. I cannot go any further. I don't want to do X, Y, and Z. So what did I do? I knew for me to go outside and walk. It instantly changed my attitude. I come back, I'm refocused. I'm like, I can handle everything that's been put in front of me at that point. So it's giving people resources that when you feel like you're up against a wall, feels like you're up against a boulder, or that boulder is following you down a steep hill, take a time out and do whatever you need to do to change your mind.
Yeah, I had the same situation. So I was 19, when I got married, and I had 2 kids, and I was like, I got pregnant, got married, had 2 kids, got divorced, all in 2 years.
Yeah.
It was really fast when I look back at it time, but while I was living it, it was not fast at all. It was like the slowest time ever. And, just leaving that situation was one of the smartest things I ever did in my life, and, nothing against him, but, it just wasn't for me,
Right. Right. Well, and one thing that I always look back on is, you know, the sleepless nights you had, the kids being sick, you still had the responsibility to of your job and to bring in money. I mean, that is very stressful for somebody to take
Yeah.
on. And I was in that situation at least 2 years before, I married my second husband, and it's tough. And even when I was married to my second husband, he loved my children. Without doubt, that is their dad. That's who they call dad, and they relate to. But, still a lot of that burden is on us. So as women or as men that find themselves in this situation, how do you handle day-to-day stress? And how do you not give up? We have to have an outlet.
Yeah, and so your book covers some of those topics, I'm assuming?
It does. And I'm sitting here looking at this wonderful book cover that my good friend Heather did. Kelly gives us inspiration every day and affirmation within this book. Every day that you read when you wake up, it's always important when you wake up to read some type of affirmation to put out into the universe, God, everybody, what you want out of life. And it really took me some time to comprehend that, because I had been in survival mode for so long that now I can ask for these things. I was just trying to survive. So that is really good. My good friend Judith Inglesby, wonderful lady. We have a common bond. Her mother, her grandmother, and her father all had Alzheimer's or Parkinson's. Her dad had Parkinson's. Well, my mother had Alzheimer's. Actually, the day I published her book as a single book was the day that my mother got the diagnosis that she had Alzheimer's. So it's a journey, because when you are living that life, my mom just passed away last December 31st, and that's tough. It's tough when somebody doesn't remember you. It's tough when their mind goes to a spot that you don't understand. It's tough when they're angry because they don't understand, or they're scared, and the caregiver dealing with that needs to know that there are people out there that have been experiencing this. And that's what Judy really tells in her book that is in this particular book. And then my good friend Donnie Beckham, she is a dietitian. I believe she even has a PhD. She's an attorney, and she wrote a book to tell us how to be healthy. And it's so simplified that when the book was being edited, it was by a gentleman, and he was so impressed with this book that he said, I'm actually going to follow this. I know it's supposed to be for a woman, but he said, I can implement everything that she said. So, within this book, I share my story, my journey of never giving up. We have affirmations. We have an actual trial and inspiration on going through a medical issue. And then we have experience from a dietitian that tells us, this is how you need to eat. This is what you should be eating. And these are the reasons why, and putting it in a simple format. So, right there within that fabulous book are 4 great things that you can take away. And that was my goal when all of these books have all been published individually, but to put them into one trilogy and put it out there, to me, is just really a great resource.
Yeah, and for the listeners, if you type Journey, and I see that Teresa did below, if you type Journey in the comments below, I'll get you a link so you can download the ebook version of the Journey to Never Giving Up. And so that's free for you guys today. And go ahead and put, again, journey in the comments below. And now,
Yes.
so what would you give as your number one, if you can narrow it down to one, I don't know, maybe two or three, but like your number one piece of advice? And I know, of course, it's like, don't give up. But okay, what's your number two piece of advice for people who are on this journey of entrepreneurship? But especially, I want to talk about the invention stage, because that's just a totally different niche of people who actually invent things. So what would be like your number one piece of advice to somebody who wants to invent something?
Don't overthink it. Keep it simple. And plan out your steps. You know, what are you trying to achieve, and make your goals and strive for those goals. And always understand it's not always about the money. I mean, that's nice, but you're going to have to make a commitment, and you're going to have to set aside that funding. And a lot of entrepreneurs that are out there developing product have a lot of credit card debt, because that is their line of credit that they're using to get their products. So don't quit your day job. I tell so many people, do not quit your day job. You are not going to become an instant millionaire within 30 to 60 days.
Right.
And keep it simple. So that's my advice.
Awesome. Now, I know that you brought your product like to Secret Knock and gave the product samples to everybody. Do you do a lot of that, where you take samples to, like, do you take samples to stores or fairs, and how do you get your product out there?
I did that in the very beginning, and then of course I shared it with Greg and the Secret Knot family, because that was very dear to my heart to do that. I have a great network of wholesalers, and I am in about 90 boutiques nationwide.
Oh, wow.
I have been on Walmart.com. I was on Amazon.com. I just pulled the distributor that I was with, and actually looking for a new distributor on Amazon.com. But the fees are very expensive, and so you really have to weigh that out. I think that there could be some new opportunity coming, but you know, again, it's the cart before the horse. So what people want to see as a new product coming into their business is they want to see a lot of sales. Well, how do you get there if you don't have an open door? A lot of it is people believe in your product, or they believe in you, and they will give you an opportunity. So sometimes it's really not always all about the product, and sometimes it's not always all about you and your team. You know, you just really need to go out and start building those relationships.
Wow. Well, great advice, of course. But thank you so much, Jody. I really appreciate you being here and sharing the book with everybody and sharing your knowledge. And I know I'm going to see you in March. I just know it, at Secret Knock. And I look forward to getting a big old hug from you.
Oh, I cannot wait. Oh, I know what my agree-disagree was real quick. Chivalry.
Okay.
Chivalry.
Chivalry.
Yes, I hear all the time people disagree with me. They tell me that chivalry is dead. And I'm like, no. So actually, that was my thing. See, I knew it'd come to me.
I don't think it's completely dead. I think it might be snoozing.
I spoke about it today. I had a man come from the other side of a room to open a door for me because my hands were full.
That's awesome.
I like
it. I'm in a different state than you. I'm in California. It might be a little different out here.
Yes,
I don't know.
Yes. Well, and even in Oklahoma, in the community I live in is about 50,000, but I was actually in a smaller community, and I was really glad to see that. So yeah, that was it. I knew it would come to me.
That's so funny. Hey, you guys, in the comments below, let us know. Do you think chivalry is dead, or do you think it's still out there? I know I see it every once in a while, but it's definitely not. I don't know if parents are teaching their young people anymore. That's what I'm not sure of. And I'm around a lot of high school students right now because I belong to this program. It's called Young Entrepreneur Society. And we're going to high schools and we teach them about entrepreneurship. And like, they don't open the doors. And I'm like, excuse me, gentlemen, will you please open the door for the ladies? Like just someone's got to teach them. So it doesn't come natural. Chivalry doesn't come natural.
We need to make an app for that.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. I love it.
If you open the door, you get 2 tokens. If you pull out a chair, you get a token. We need to work with Manny about that. There
we go. We're going to have to do that. I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, so thank you so much for being here. And again, it's Jody Harris, and it's jodyharrisinc.com. And if you would like to, can I give me your email address?
Yes.
Okay. If you'd like to reach out to Jody, her email address is jh@jodyharrisinc.com. Go ahead. If you have any questions or anything, or have any comments, or just reach out to her. She's, as you can tell, she's awfully wonderful. Awfully wonderful. I didn't mean to say awful.
You? I'm awful and I'm wonderful.
That's right. That's a really weird word to have as a complimentary word. Awfully wonderful.
I love it. I love it.
But thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to seeing you in March. And of course, I keep track of you on Facebook. She's on Facebook, you guys, so go find her everywhere. And I'll put the links to find her in the description up above, so you guys can find her easily. Okay.
So thank you, Linda, so much. And on Facebook, I'm maxed out, but follow me. I love followers.
Awesome. Looking forward to it.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.